Right then, curtains, curtains, curtains. Curtains to you too. Good evening, Pip. How are you? Oh, there isn't a curtain in this room. I thought there was. There isn't. It's just a roller blind. Just make a little roller blind then. There are curtains in the other rooms though. Must be something on the end of this pencil. It's not marking very well. That's deteriorating. Good evening, Anfield Road. How are you doing? So just put a little bit of super glue on the very end there to hold the rod in place. And then I'll just put a little dab of glue on the other part of it so I can then roll it up a little bit. So I just use a cocktail stick and, like I say, a dab of glue on the paper there. It's going to be the trick, is trying to get it to roll. There we go. I'll just check that for fit now. And then give it a coat of paint. I think it's blue, isn't it? It is going to be a challenge trying to fit this. Looks like I've made it big enough. Are you building the Metcalfe service station? Wonderful. How's it going together? Do you know what? I've never built a Metcalfe kit. Oh, tell a lie. I have built a Metcalfe kit. It wasn't a house model. It was their picnic tables. You know, the sort of pub garden picnic tables. I've built those, but they're like the laser cut kits. I needed one for the pub diorama I made. But I haven't built one of their card model houses. I think I've got some N-gauge packs in the garage that I inherited. Might have a go one of these days. Right, just need to hairdryer that dry before I can carry on. Always hit the wrong switch when I'm trying to turn it off and turn it on full blast instead. Now then, obviously I've got the inevitable tweezer marks to brush out. And now once drying off, before I can do anything else. Managed to succeed this time. Right, some PVA glue now. This is the glue and glaze I'm going to use. Well used, as you can see. Just squeeze a bit out if I can actually get some out. The tip of the bottle is quite gunged up. Just enough to work with there. This is actually going to be quite tricky to install. We'll see what we can do. We're just a fraction too big. Good evening, Dream Big. How are you doing? Thank you, Sharon. Be good to see you. There we go. See, just in the back there, little roller bind. And I'm just going to place the wardrobe in place. That desk is determined not to stick. I'll have to deal with it later. Right, what's next? Sorry, I've got a paper template here which has got some bits and pieces on that I need. Thank you very much. It's coming along now. It needs to be finished by the end of tomorrow now. So really getting cracking on it. Yeah, it's a bit of a time crush now. I've got tomorrow booked off work so I can try and get this complete. But I really don't like working against the clock. Sometimes needs must, though. Oh, I missed that comment. It seems to wipe it out really quickly. My tripod is a little bit ropey. Right, I just need to cut some strips because I'm going to make a bookcase. And this is probably the last thing I'm going to do tonight. Because I really need to get some sleep. So I just need to manufacture, cut two strips the same width. I ended up with black paint all over myself. I know. I always do that, don't I? Because I've lent into something that's got black paint on it. This is plastic card, so it's not 0.5mm thick plastic card. What have I done with the scalpel? There it is. I can't pick that up. It's being annoying. Probably could do with a fresh blade. There's no point left on this one anymore. And I'm playing with fire, having all this black paint stuck to my hand. Yes, plastic hard styrene, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, including the loft. 6. The roof is a different piece. Bookcases don't have roofs. The top is a different piece. I must go through these cutting mats like anything. They don't seem to last 5 minutes. This one's already both losing its grid lines and having huge gashes cut in. They're supposed to be self-healing, but this is what you get for buying cheaper versions. So I've got huge holes in it from where the knife has cut too deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just need one more. I can't even lay it on the grid lines without it bubbling off. Just checking for square, and that appears to be square. Trying to use this as a template, but it's not that easy to lay it flat. If I can get the spacing roughly right, I can then try and adjust before it fully cures. Luckily it's one of those multiple adjustable bookcases, so they don't have to be equally spaced. Now the tricky part, I need to glue the outside edges of those shelves and stick the outside of the case onto it. Need a little cocktail stick, preferably one that's not covered in super glue. More for my fingers than anything else. Would help if I picked up the right piece. And then a bit of glue across the top piece. There. And I can glue a piece for the top on. It shouldn't take too long to set. It's a bit slower than super glue though. just glue that to a thinner piece of styrene. And cut the excess off. That's not quite glued. I'll take a longer cut there just so it's easier to manoeuvre. I'm going to have to start rotating this sheet over because there's bits starting to stick up now, which makes it hard to slide pieces across it. Okay, so there we've got a tiny little bookcase. It wants painting now, but really I probably could do with waiting for all the glue to cure. I could do with teasing a little bit into that little seam at the top there because it's not quite joining. Hello, Jenny. How are you this evening? I think while I'm in the mood for... I did say that was going to be the last thing I was going to do, didn't I? I'll just try and do something else. That's the last bit of furniture for that bedroom there. Different platform, yes. So that bookcase sits in that room there. Okay, I've got to populate it with some tiny books. Good evening, Claire. How are you? Making some tiny furniture over here. This is an IKEA Hemnes bed, and I know that for a fact because my daughter's got the same one. I'm just trying to find a suitable place to stick this on. So I'm just going to Pritt stick this template, such as it is, onto the styrene sheet and cut roughly out. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you, Claire. I'm a bit up against it because this model has to be delivered to Birmingham on Thursday. So I have booked the day off work tomorrow to try and get this. Well, I've booked the day off work tomorrow and the day off on Thursday to actually go and deliver it. So I'm kind of racing against the clock right now. I'm just going to have another sort of half an hour tonight, and then I've got all day tomorrow to try and get this finished. So it'll all depend on the clock as to just how far detailed everything ends up going. Yes, I don't like doing it like this, but this was the only one I've taken on this year for a specific deadline, and I had aimed to get it done well in advance, but she brought forward the required time by about a week. And in one respect, it was quite good that it pushed me to motivate on it, but I don't like having Christmas deadlines. I've had it before, and I've been in a panic right up. In fact, the worst one I ever had to do was I delivered a model to Derbyshire on Christmas Eve. I had to take a road trip out to go and deliver it. Now the question here is, do I take artistic license? Yeah, hello Robert. Yeah, I do kind of like having the actual deadline, because it gives you something to aim at, but I hate the pressure of having to have something finished, especially working something like this. Oops, the template slipped off now, so I might have to totally disregard artistic license. And we'll just cut the template out. To be honest, I don't think you're going to see the tiny panel detail at this scale anyway. I'm going to switch glues now. I'm going to work with a solvent. It evaporates really quickly, but it sticks faster. just got to watch, don't tip it over. Point in question. Put that aside for a minute. Sorry about that. Forgot to plug my battery in. Now, where was that bottom leg? Thank you very much. Thank you for popping in, Claire. Yes, I hope I get a lot done tomorrow. I've got to fight the urge not to go and have a nap just because I can. So it's going to take a lot of self-control tomorrow to stay focused at the task in hand. Doubling up on the steering here. I'm trying to cut away from each corner so I don't go through this tiny little foot. I'll just take off that template. Now I need to cut the back off. going to need to salvage this template here because it's got the drawers on. I want to cut those out of a thinner piece of styrene. I didn't double up on the template, so I'll need to just cut this out and then stick it onto another sheet. Peel it off gently and stick it onto another sheet, and it's proving tricky to get a flat purchase on it. It's because my mat's ended up bumpy. You can use an old paintbrush for gluing styrene. You just paint the solvent adhesive onto the joint. It will flow through with capillary action. I'm just going to sand that lightly while I get the chance. When I've stuck the drawers onto it, I won't have the chance to sand the back of it. I mean, like I said, now I just need to glue that template back onto a piece of thin styrene. Or do I want the thicker stuff? I think I might actually just put it, for a bit more relief, I'll just put it onto a thicker piece of styrene. Except I can't pick it up. No, I've changed my mind. Thinner. It's going to look way too thick on a thick piece. So the styrene I've used for the base of the furniture is 0.2, so 0.5. This is half the thickness again. This is 0.25. So I'm just going to use this for the drawers. Just cut it off the main piece because it's unwieldy. What I want to do is with my little stabbing device, I have a little scribe somewhere. I was using it earlier. There it is, right in front of me. Now if I turn that over, there you can see that there's a little sort of rivet detail kind of thing. So I'm going to want to flip this over. Try not to push too hard when I'm pressing down on it, so I remove that little embossed detail. Now the trick is going to be peeling that off. I've stuck it back down again. It's stuck to my finger with the Pritt stick. Again, slightest bit of glue and it sticks to you. Apologies for the hands, but I've managed to rest in some black paint this evening. You can see once the cutting mat starts to deteriorate, you end up with little bits all over the place. And I just want to try and position these first. They've still got a little bit of residual glue stick glue on them, which will help temporarily tack them in. Except it won't. It's all very well until it sticks to your fingers. And now I don't need to peel it back off again, because I can just let a little bit of solvent seep under the gap. So that's the beauty of using a liquid solvent with styrene, is that you can just use what's called capillary action, just to let the glue drip off your brush and sort of flow underneath the piece and weld the two pieces together. But if you use too much, you can end up melting the plastic altogether. So I can try and pick that up now and show you. This is the front of the drawer unit now, with those raised drawers and little sort of rivet detail for the handles. Then that will stick on there. I'll just paint a little bit of solvent in that first bit. I can fix that in and then do the same on the other side. But I want to just raise it a bit because it's got feet. It's refusing to glue that. It's doing exactly the opposite of what I said it should do. And not melting together. Of course, now it does when you've got it in the wrong position. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Right, I want a scrap of Foamex now to glue in the back. That's just going to be something to hold the mattress in place. That slipped whilst I was cutting it. There's nothing more annoying than that. Something wrong with this pencil. It doesn't want to mark. I'm definitely saying it's that and not me. Right, and now I just want to glue that to the back of the bed. I think my battery's going to die. It's not charging properly, so let's quickly do this before it dies altogether. I've now glued that to the table. Oh, this is what happens when you rush. Everything fails. And that's glue all over the table as well. There's another piece I want to put in just to give me some support. It's purely structural, not part of the actual design. Then I just want to chop a little bit off this bit because this is going to be the mattress. As we know, IKEA daybeds have notoriously thin mattresses, So this piece will suffice for that. I just need to find my sandpaper now to there it is, to smooth it off and round off the edges. This is the Foamex I'm using, so you can see it's just creating a round on that edge for the shape of the mattress. So just a couple of little bits of glue across the top there, and I think I'm going to call that a night. See if I can do this without running my sleeve through the super glue. Okay, that's just going to need a little bit of paint when it's all fully cured, but there's my little IKEA daybed. It'll just need sanding off, but once it's a little bit soft at the moment, but it will eventually harden rock solid, and you can just see that little seam opening up there, which I can just deal with running some solvent down the end, and once that's fully cured I can just sand it so it gives me a better painting surface. Quite happy the way those little handles have turned out. That's just a little bit of embossing. Pour the rest of the solvent back in the bottle, otherwise it will just evaporate to nothing. And it's going to need a bit of a tidy up, but we're nearly there now. Let's just, before it's painted, I'll just show you where it goes. Into this sparsely populated, sparsely furnished back bedroom here. So there's a little daybed that fits across that area there. And then there's a little bookcase to install in that place there. Then that'll be that room done. It's very sparse, like I say. Hello Airsoft, thank you for coming in. So this room's nearly done. I just need to finally get that glued in place. Thank you. Yes, I'm keeping my fingers crossed I don't nap tomorrow. But thank you for popping in. So there's a lot more. I've got to try and get this wire connected so it wires up downstairs. But there's yes, there's not much more to do now, but I've still got this entire bathroom to build. I've got a bed to put in here, a little bookcase for that section there, and yeah, it's nearly there. I'm quite happy with the way the curtains in the bed have come together for that room there. Of course, you'll be able to see the curtains from the outside now. It just blocks off those windows a bit better. Likewise in the corner. You remember me making the couch? Ah, right, yes, I did that, didn't I? That's over there. It's waiting to all go together, but I'm in a bit of a struggle for space here. Yeah, so I've almost completed this bedroom this evening, and now it's time to go. So thank you very much for everyone for joining me tonight, and I'll see you all again soon. Please check out my videos on my channel if you haven't already seen them, and yeah, see you later.